there. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Colleen Klimczak. I'm an organizational and productivity coach and a certified professional organizer. I own Peace of Mind Professional Organizing, LLC. Since 2003, I've been helping my clients live better lives through organizing and organizational and productivity coaching. I support my clients and my community with coaching, in-person and virtual organizing, my weekly podcast called Your Organized Life with Colleen Klimczak, a free weekly productivity session called Finish Line Friday, a free weekly email newsletter, and regular content on Facebook and Instagram. I also offer presentations and professional development to groups and companies. And coming soon, I'll be launching my membership circle to support my community with even more coaching and productivity content. Want to finish strong this week? Join me for Finish Line Friday every Friday morning at 9 a.m. Central for a 2-hour productivity session. Drop me an email at colleen@peaceofmindpo.com to request my Zoom room link or follow the Zoom room link on my Instagram or Facebook pages. So today we are talking about maintenance. The secret sauce for success in organizing and productivity, and a lot of other things too, I'm sure, is maintenance. I know that doesn't sound noteworthy or newsworthy or sexy or fun in any way. I know, but if you want to succeed, maintenance is truly the answer. I gave my Get a Grip on Your Papers presentation twice last week. On Tuesday, I was at Green Hills Public Library, and on Friday, I was at Governor State University for their Knowledge Exchange program. If you're new to the community from one of those events, welcome. Typically, in that presentation, after walking through the paper and information organizing and management process, I get to the fifth and final step in the process, which is maintenance. And I usually say that it's really so important, we should likely start with maintenance. Now, thankfully, because it's my presentation, I know that I weave the conversation about maintenance into every step of the organizing process. Because, to be honest, there are so few tasks in organizing and in life that are truly once and done. So many, most, I would say, are repetitious, right? Consistent. They're just things we have to do on a regular basis. There are many definitions of maintenance, so let me narrow it down for today. So maintenance is the process of maintaining or preserving someone or something. It is a continuation. What I really liked on this website was they listed the opposite of maintenance, and that was a breakdown. So in working on this article idea, I spent half an hour going down a define maintenance rabbit hole on Wikipedia involving the Industrial Revolution and utilization of resources in the armed forces and other fascinating side quests. So I also liked this definition. Maintenance is the routine recurring work required to keep a facility, like a plant, a building, a structure, utility system, or other property, in such condition that it may be continuously used at its original or designed capacity and efficiency for its intended purpose. I mean, that's a lot of words. I know that. But here are some of my favorite words in that last block. There are words like routine and scheduled and predictive, planned maintenance to keep systems and equipment in efficient and effective working order. Right? Let's do that. Because then there is the unplanned maintenance, which happens for a number of reasons. And also because the routine, scheduled, or predictive planned maintenance didn't get done, and the system or equipment experienced a failure. Yes, that, right? But I digress. We are not going all that deep, my friends. Really, I just want to talk about maintenance in life and work, but mostly just life. Part of the inspiration for this article came from my husband and I putting away our patio furniture yesterday afternoon. It is still 80-some degrees this first week of October, but we also know we have to put away our patio furniture eventually. And it's a lot easier to do that when the weather's nice and when we're both available for putting things up in the garage rafters and when we have an hour or two free on the calendar, right? So those things aligned. And so we did it. It is a bittersweet, unofficial sign of the end of summer, I know, but it was really great to do it on our terms that afternoon. We cleaned out the little storage space under the deck. We purged a broken planter. We put away the lounge chairs in there and we covered them for the winter. We left space in there for the rain barrels and we will put those away in early November when we're done watering the plants for the season. And then we close the door on that little area for now. Then we put away the sun umbrella. We put away the patio tables and the chairs and the garage rafters. We threw out a few more weird things. We collected some e-waste that we'll be recycling later this week. I put away some things that had migrated out of the cabinets over the summer, and we swept the garage. It looks and feels so much better out there now. Why? Why do we do these things, right? Why did we spend 2 hours on a sunny Sunday afternoon taking care of this stuff? We did it because we like the systems we have and we want to maintain the systems. Maintenance, right? We work together on home tasks because that maintains the family system. We put away our deck furniture because we like the furniture and we want to use it again next summer. And we don't want to cause an unnecessary expense by having to replace it if we didn't take care of it. Or we don't want to cause an unnecessary emergency by waiting until it's cold outside to do the work or not doing it at all and then struggling all winter, shoveling snow around our stuff, right? So I maintained other systems yesterday as well. Groceries were delivered midday. Batch cooking commenced in my kitchen for this week's dinners and also to restock our freezer for dinners over the next month. Again, why? Why did I spend time on that on a Sunday afternoon? Because a little time and effort on our own terms keeps our systems running smoothly. We have healthy meals for the week with less stress and less cost. That is a win all around, my friends, right? Routine, scheduled, predictive maintenance. Maintenance must happen to keep our systems operational, so let's get good at it. I did some next level maintenance back in August. I was sitting in a hotel lobby early on a Sunday morning in Leominster, Massachusetts, after spending a fabulous Saturday on the mountain in Ashburnham, Massachusetts, at a day-long concert we've attended for 4 years now. So that day is amazing, and it's a day of love and service and collaboration and amazing people and music, and it's just great. And so the next day, I was feeling very inspired. So that next morning, as I was waiting for us to get on the road to adventure in Vermont, I was inspired to write some content. I also looked at the older voice memos on the app on my phone, which represent unpublished blog articles or podcast episode ideas. And in a moment of clarity and bravery, I deleted almost all of them. I realized that to maintain my writing process, right, a system at peak capacity, I needed to remove dead weight and focus on new topics and new ideas. I didn't want ideas from 3 years ago. You and I both deserve new. And so as part of the maintenance process, I deleted old to make room for new. And I've been much better since that Sunday morning in August on acting on article and episode ideas, and also more quickly deleting recordings that have become published articles. And the process is much easier to maintain now. Also part of maintenance, for me at least, is goal setting. So a part of my maintenance process is goal setting, especially quarterly goals. To review, we should take on routine, scheduled, and predictive planned maintenance, right? To keep systems and equipment in efficient and effective working condition. All of this is to avoid unplanned maintenance if there's a failure, right? So let's work on planning and maintenance to avoid a failure. Sounds like a good idea. So October 1st began the last quarter of 2025. Whoa, I know, I said it. Q4, it's here. So I'm doing some planning this week, and I invite you to do the same. I will tell you now that my birthday was last week, and very often this time of year, I do some strategic planning, not just because it's Q4, but because I want to be intentional about my next trip around the sun. A friend mentioned she was doing some Q4 planning and listed a couple of things that she wanted to accomplish and said, you know what? Maybe that's enough. And hey, maybe that is enough, right? So her short list that she shared was lofty enough. It was doable with a few stretches, and that sounds good to me. Then again, maybe there is a bit more that you want to achieve, or that you want to live with more intention, or maybe your goal is to do less, truly. Maybe your goal for the rest of 2025 is to rest, and that's okay too. It's not up to me. It's up to you, right? What's it gonna be? You don't have to tell me, but it could be time for you to tell yourself. Bringing us back to where I started today's article, even though it's still 85 degrees when I'm recording this the first week of October, that will change. The weather will change. October and November and December will all come and go. What systems do you want to maintain and maintain well? What do you want January's you to be proud of? What do you want to be able to point at and go, hey, I did that, or I didn't do that? For example, a few of my goals for Q4 are to clean up my cybersecurity and set up a password manager for myself and my company. I also want to purchase a new phone because my family would tell you mine is old, and also perhaps a new iPad for digitizing my sheet music. I also really want to get my membership circle tested. That is coming for all of you and ready to launch. And I want to complete the rest of my annual health appointments for the year. Talk about maintenance, right? I mean, yeah. So all of those things, including goal setting as a process, maintains our systems in good working order to avoid failure later, right? So perhaps you pick one thing that you'd like to accomplish in the next 2.5 months in each of your focus areas. That works. I've talked a lot lately about motivation and prioritization. I've asked you what's important, and I always talk about our focus areas. We need to maintain systems by setting goals for the next few months. We can set goals to create routines and schedules for maintaining your systems in good working order, and then we complete them as part of that meta maintenance process for yourself. So support around all of these good things that help us to get done what we need to get done is what coaching is all about. If it's time to invest in yourself and explore coaching for organizing and productivity, I would love to hear from you. Drop me a line via email at colleen@peaceofmindpo.com or message me through my social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you next week.